Welcome to the Experiment Podcast. I'm your host, Jade. I'll probably say this every time I start an episode, but I am truly so grateful that you're here. I am really excited about this podcast, about this entire journey that I'm on, and I truly believe that this is so important. This is your first time here. I encourage you to go back and listen to episode 1. The way that I am designing and planning these episodes is in sequential order, from the basics to much more integrative concepts. And I think that it's important as we journey together on this experiment, we have a very solid foundation. So I encourage you don't have to, you can do whatever you want. This is your journey, your experiment. But I do encourage you to go back, listen to episode 1, and there's no wrong timeline. In episode 1, I redefined alignment and I introduced this concept of the 3 layers of reality, which is how I've started to frame my understanding of my body, my soul, my life, my integration with the external world, and the general theme collaboration of me and the collective. In episode 1, we asked, what is alignment? This episode, the big question is, where do we go from here? What are we aligning to? The short and simple answer to what are we aligning to is purpose and our highest potential. The problem is many of us are navigating through life blind. We don't know about the abundance of resources at our fingertips that can give us insights into ourselves and our purpose and what our highest potential might look like. Our purpose is the core essence of everything we do. It's the why behind everything that we're doing. Highest potential is the full integration of our purpose. It's the full embodiment of it. And it is alignment with our highest potential and our purpose across all 3 layers of our reality. In addition to this, I think it's really important that I preface that I do believe that you can live your entire life without 1, tapping into your true purpose, and 2, truly living your highest potential life. Those are very real possibilities due to a lack of self-awareness and understanding of the systems of the universe. Think about someone you know who might be bitter or has lived a long lifetime and maybe still seems lost or as if they are suffering, or like you can see the light in them that was never fully tapped into. Those people exist. We see them all around us. Sometimes we are that person. And part of the reason I am on this journey is because that is truly one of my biggest fears in life, is to live my full life cycle without having tapped into my true purpose and living out the highest expression of that. Today, we are going to talk about how to start understanding our purpose, how to start understanding what our highest potential life may look like, and then integrating that across the 3 layers of reality. Now, the way that I've looked at this and started experimenting with this in my own life is my process has very much looked like creating that esoteric blueprint. I started way out in the macro and I'm slowly zooming in, and I anticipate it'll kind of pulse out and in, out and in. And the point of that is this ebb and flow of knowing when and where to align myself. But the first step for me is having a better understanding of the unseen forces that are truly affecting and impacting my life, that trickle down and impact my moods, emotions, the day-to-day experience that I'm having. So for today, we're going to start looking at the energetic and karmic layer. I also want to say that it's really important to understand that each layer is giving us very, very specific clues about whether or not we are stepping deeper into alignment and awareness, or if we are resisting it. And that's really what all of these exercises and these episodes are about, is building that deeper self-awareness to know when you are stepping deeper into alignment versus when you are resisting it and diving deeper into misalignment. Before we look at what's happening inside of you, I want to deep dive into what was set in motion before you came here. We're going to start at the edge of the universe and then slowly work our way in. The third and not biggest layer, but outermost layer is the energetic and karmic layer. Our purpose is not random. It's a part of our energetic blueprint. The patterns you struggle with, the strengths that you're gifted with, and the themes that keep showing up in your life are clues. Esoteric systems like astrology or human design, gene keys, the 9-star Kai system, the I Ching, these are all maps to better understand yourself. They're truly resources to help you understand your purpose. So if you want to start doing this work for yourself and really deep diving, my recommendation is let's first start looking at Western astrology. And the very first placement I want you to look at is your North Node. Your North Node is your soul's growth path. It is what you're evolving into in this lifetime. Take a good long look at the sign your North Node is in and the house. Next, I want you to look at your midheaven. Your midheaven tells you your public role, your career, and your highest potential path. The next system I want you to look at is your human design, specifically your type and strategy. Your type and strategy help you to understand how you're designed to interact with life and how best to make aligned decisions. Then I want you to look at the incarnation cross. The incarnation cross is the big themes influencing your life's purpose and highest expression. And then lastly, for this fun starter, I want you to look at your gene keys. First, you're going to look at your life's work and purpose sphere. This tells you how your deepest challenge is also your greatest gift. And it tells you how it expands when you step into your highest potential. What's interesting is that there's also a lot of science around this, around the importance of meaning and purpose. Neuroscience supports the idea that the brain is literally wired to seek meaning and for pattern recognition. The more you understand the archetypal patterns in your charts, the more you'll be able to see how those patterns are actually impacting and playing out in your life. I can almost guarantee that once you start doing this, you will start seeing the patterns and the themes. And once you do, the next step is looking at how life has been reflecting them back to you. This moves us into layer 2 of the 3 layers of reality, which is external reality. The external world is always giving us feedback. I mean, honestly, external reality is just a feedback loop. A feedback loop reflects how the world is responding to our actions, which shapes outcomes and reinforces certain, sometimes outdated patterns. It determines how the systems, the patterns, will either grow, which is a positive feedback loop, or self-correct, which is a negative feedback loop. Recognizing these loops help us understand trends and make more strategic decisions in our lives. It's not only intuition, but this is literally like a form of data analysis and recognition. In personal development, feedback loops shape identity, purpose, and transformation. It does this by reinforcing behaviors and beliefs. Positive feedback loops amplify habits, whether productive or destructive. If you are consistently acting on purpose-aligned behaviors, that positive feedback loop is just going to keep reinforcing that for you. And it'll keep reinforcing success and alignment in your life. Negative feedback loops correct misalignment. If something feels off, external resistance is a very common signal that something needs to be recalibrated. When defining purpose, feedback loops help us so much to understand where there is alignment versus where there is resistance and misalignment. These feedback loops are wonderful for telling us what is expanding in our lives and what is just resisting. Recognizing patterns and responses, whether external like life circumstances or internal like emotions, energy, and intuition, this allows us to redefine our direction, optimize alignment, and move toward transformation with a defined and direct and clear purpose. There are a few really helpful signs that you are aligning to your highest purpose, and they might look like opportunities opening up before you very effortlessly, meeting the right people at the right time, or maybe you feel pulled into new expansion, like new challenges and new growth opportunities that are aligned with your growth path. There are also external signs that you are out of alignment, and sometimes that looks like maybe you're forcing things that just won't click. This can look and feel like making a decision and being hit back to back with delays and communication issues and timing issues, or you are replaying a limiting belief such as scarcity mindset. Another example is that you might feel stuck in cycles of resistance. And another telltale sign is the people in your life do not reflect the version of yourself that you are stepping into. Your reticular activating system in your brain acts as a filter for your thoughts and experiences and your perception. The RAS prioritizes information that matches your beliefs and focus. So when you shift into alignment with your highest potential, your brain is literally shifting and prioritizing only the information that feeds that highest good, that feeds that highest purpose. Whenever your brain starts doing this, it literally allows new opportunities, experiences, and people that match that vibration to come into your life. It starts recognizing those opportunities, starts recognizing those people. It starts recognizing those opportunities and says, that is aligned. I want that. And the same is true for the opposite. When you are stuck in misalignment, when you are stuck in limiting beliefs, when you are stuck in doubt and anxiety, your brain starts prioritizing information that just feeds that. It's important to start asking yourself, what patterns are repeating in my life? What thought patterns, what resistance is consistently showing up in my world? I want you to start really looking at what the external world is reflecting back to you about your alignment. External validation is not the only way to know if you are out of alignment. Your body knows too. The external feedback is just confirmation of the truth that is already alive inside of you. The last layer of reality I want to talk about is our internal signals. Your nervous system, scientifically proven, responds to alignment or misalignment before your conscious mind does. Alignment is a full body experience. There are a few internal signs that you are in alignment. You might have a natural feeling of energy and flow, a deeper sense of engagement and presence in your day-to-day life. You're not forcing anything. Time moves differently. You get lost in the process. There are a few internal signs that you might be out of alignment, and those look like chronic fatigue, exhaustion, tension, avoidance. You might feel stuck in overthinking and procrastination. Even the idea of doing something specific might make you feel heavier. That is a telltale sign that whatever you're questioning is out of alignment, or some aspect of it is out of alignment. It just started raining, but I am going to push through because this is important and I want to knock this episode out. So fingers crossed you can't hear it. Your nervous system is wired to detect alignment. Studies on interoception, which is your ability to sense internal body signals, shows that people who listen to their gut are able to make clearer, faster, and more aligned decisions. When doing this work and starting to mess with our internal signals and build awareness around it, it's important to ask ourselves what environments or conversations or people energize us versus what drains us. Because what energizes us is a telltale sign that something is alignment. And the same is true for when something drains us. That is telling us that something about this isn't quite aligned. If you want to go on this journey, start with your blueprint. Start in the external and karmic layer. Look into the astrology, look into the human design, and look into the gene keys. Then start building awareness around your external reality. What people, experiences, or patterns keep repeating? Are they reinforcing what your chart already says? Ultimately, listen to your body. When you think about stepping onto this path, take a moment and just feel your body. Do you feel energy or resistance? If these 3 layers are pointing to the same themes, that for you is a clear signal. However, if starting to do this work, they seem disconnected, that might be you being in the process of unlearning old conditioning. And there may be a blind spot and a lack of awareness somewhere in that realm. If this feels like a lot, which I know it is, start so small. Pick one aspect, one placement that we discussed today, and look into that. And when I mean look into it, I mean look into it. I encourage you to go so deep into this. It's important. And this is the foundation of everything that's to come. This is the foundation of everything we're going to build up. However, if you want clarity sooner, I am offering a 30-minute call with me on my website at jadetarot.com, where I will build a 1-page report for you, breaking down your purpose and your highest potential as I interpret astrology, human design, and gene keys. I'm doing this for a very limited time, so if you're interested, get it while you can. So now that you understand that purpose and our highest potential is the current of our entire lives, we're ready for the next big thing. Now that we know this, what do we do with this awareness? This is where most people get stuck. We start to recognize the patterns, but then we don't know what to do with the information. We wait for more signs or start really doubting ourselves and questioning ourselves. This is what we're going to dive into next episode. Now that you've started uncovering alignment and purpose and highest potential and what that means for you, in these next and future episodes, we are going to start experimenting with this in our own lives and making micro shifts and micro adjustments and looking at very specific placements to guide and drive our experimentation process. If you're ready to start actually living this, come back for episode 3 because things are about to get really juicy. If this episode opened anything up for you, pay attention. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to the patterns in the universe. Pay attention to the feedback that you are getting from everything around you. DM me at Experiment Pod with Jade if there were any insights or clarity you received from just this knowledge. Or if you have any questions about any placements in your chart, send me a DM and I'll try to help. I want this to be collaborative. I want to help. I want to guide you. I want to teach you alongside me because this is the work I'm doing. And I am feeling so grounded and so clear every day when I work through this. And one last takeaway, as much as alignment is about awareness, it is equally about movement. And that's what we're diving into next. Please like this episode, subscribe, share it to your friends, subscribe on YouTube, download it. Every download is so helpful, and I'll see you next time.